What if death is not the end, but a beginning? I get to share this message with you from the source so you know the truth of what we are here to do today. So, life and death, this is such a huge issue and an issue. This is something that we question all the time. Why am I here? What is my purpose in this? Now, it's very annoying because I do an intro and then it gets cut off. So I'm not sure if you guys caught that. So my question was, what if death wasn't the end and it was a new beginning? And as a seeker here, I have had this question for all of my life. I have really sought to uncover the meaning of life, why we are here. Now, this message came through from the source today, and I get to share it with you. And this is the way that it is through the eye of Creator, from the One, the Christ. I get to be a messenger for this, having walked this path of ascension, embodying Christ to unlock this cosmic core of creation. I get to share the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So you can take this and use it to put your own personal puzzle together and really, I'm getting cement your like understanding. I'm here to trigger awakenings, and these awakenings are triggered through you receiving this cosmic knowledge, this wisdom, this truth, because ultimately the source is pure truth. It's illumination. So by me sharing this truth from the cosmic core, you can take this and use this in order to heal. So it's so important for you to watch this from beginning to end. If you can't watch the whole stream, come back to YouTube, watch the replay, interact, really connect to this, anchor into this, and share this with other beautiful beings that need to see this. See, we heal deeper the more beings that unify with us, because at the source, at this cosmic core, it's the one eternal mind where we all originate from, our origin. So I'm here to guide you back to your source, your core, your truth, your essence. This is what we are here to do. I get to break down this reality, how it works, and how you fit in, and how you need to operate in order to return home to the one. Because the truth is, you're not going to heaven when you die, and this is something religion and spirituality talk a lot about. There's so many different teachings that say, oh, when you die you go to heaven, but that is not the truth, and that is the ultimate deception that has kept humanity struggling. Now, just give me a moment. I'm going to give you a moment to share this within your spiritual communities. If you are watching on Facebook, come over to YouTube as well, okay? Because YouTube, we want to really, this is all about our attention and our focus. And YouTube really, hang on, let me get the chat up. Facebook deletes these live streams after 30 days. Okay. So we really want to create our collective through this YouTube. And if you look at the YouTube logo, it is a red triangle. Okay. Now, the triangle, the triad, the three, time, space, consciousness, right? Unconscious, subconscious, conscious. Everything happens in threes. Okay. And so there is that symbol of the triangle. We want to align to that. The red is the very first step on this journey where you guys move from this 3D, we've got 3 people watching right now, into that next level. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Hi, Karen. If you're watching, say hi. Okay. So the message that came through from the source today was you don't go to heaven when you die. What happens is you're sucked back into this black hole system, okay? This soul trap. And what happens, you manifest a reality based on the frequency that you are at. So the problem is beings are born onto this planet and they're not taught this truth. They are brainwashed with deception and they're fit into these boxes. They're compartmentalized and they're in these matrix systems, these reality tunnels. They are fixed by beliefs. And okay, so where are we going with this? So the message that was coming through from the source today is that we mustn't waste this life. Okay, the reason you are here, why you were born onto this planet, and if you are seeing this, it's so important that you know this because this is showing up in your reality for a reason. We talk about a lot of things that are quite hi Terry. Hey Tay. Tay, is it? Yeah. So oh good, you found us on YouTube. That's awesome. So I'm getting preconditioned. Okay, so there is so much deception that we have been taught lifetime after lifetime. Every time we come back here, our soul comes back here, we are programmed with more BS, more BS, more BS. So what we have right now is this denseness, this darkness within our field, so much separation, because every time we're coming back and we're not using this life to heal, to grow, to evolve, to raise our frequency, our level of consciousness, when we're not coming back and seeking and questioning and doing what we're meant to do, what happens is we are accumulating more and more baggage, more and more darkness, more and more deception, more and more containing, limiting beliefs, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to live this life and it's up to you. Hey, P Money. So it's up to you how you use this life. Everyone has free will. So, but right now at this time, the Christ has returned and the knowledge, the truth from this frequency, it's a frequency just like you. So it's time for you to learn how to tune into that. And how do we tune into that? We release the frequencies that have been programmed into us. Okay, so it's just like a radio thing where we're fine tuning to get that clear channel, right? Oh yeah, there's a lot of fakeness out there, Tay. It's like and that's one thing that okay, so truth, trust. So okay, so source is the ultimate truth, and our trust is like a rope, right, that we climb. And so I'm seeing truth and I'm seeing trust. So it's very hard. So okay, so self-trust. Okay. I was trying to remember, it's like the sun with a beam, right? Because you are the light, you are the one, you are this beam of light, this individual, this incarnate, right? And to stay in alignment, we need to be able to stand strong and have that trust and that inner knowing. And because we are here to learn, grow, and evolve, what we are going to get in our external reality is things that challenge that. Okay. Now, everything in our external reality is a spiritual lesson. It's a test. It's set up like a video game for you to be able to learn, to grow, to evolve, to master this. Okay. And this body is this avatar and our consciousness drives it, right? So you are, this higher part of you, this consciousness is the driver. But the problem is, because of all the separation, all the energetic blocks within this body, our higher self, our spiritual self, cannot embody this physical body. So what we must do is heal to release the frequencies, the blockages, so we can do this whole spiritual embodiment thing. So what we must do is stay true to ourselves, stay in our heart, okay? Use our heart to navigate. So we use our heart to navigate. And the way that we do this is, what do you resonate with? Okay. So where you are right now and the things that you are resonating with shows you what you need to focus your attention on right now to heal, grow, and evolve. Okay. So you're being guided here for a reason. Okay. And now you get to look, you've got this. Okay. You really have got this. And you are your own worst enemy because you doubt. Okay. But you've had this life and you've had these lessons. You've had some awakenings and you've had some aha moments. Okay. And the important thing is that you've been led here. But right now, in this moment, where else are you being led? What teachers are you gravitating towards? So the stepping stones, for example, for myself, right? I had my awakening in 2006. Hey, Mike. I had my awakening in 2006, right? And I was connected to the cosmic core of creation. I was met by this character, Jesus, as I knew him then. And he was like, you know, like in a video game where there's this holographic character that, you know, will give you these instructions and you must follow, right? This holographic head. That's the way that spirit shows it, right? This holographic head. So I call it holographic Jesus. So many beings have had so many experiences with this holographic Jesus. So it's this character in this video game of life, right? So many people are I'm getting enthralled. I don't know why I'm getting enthralled, but it's like so connected to this Jesus character. But Jesus and is just an aspect of yourself, an angle of the divine. And it's a way that it's a focal point, I guess, that we all use. How do I put this? He's a symbol. Okay, he is a symbol. And so many people have had this experience. Spiritual, religious, new age, there's all different what would I call it? Visions, angles of this character, depending on the person themselves, how they see, how they envision this character. But ultimately, it's the one coming through using this symbol, this character, in order to bring you into deeper alignment with yourself, your truth. So it's very interesting. Anyway, so 2006, had my awakening. It was massive, right? Massive. All the things that I was told happened, down to exact dates, right? You know, my grandmother's death. I got a date, the date she was dying. And I'm like, oh my God, she's going to die this day. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? She didn't, but she died that date the next year, right? So it was and the month, right? The date and the month, right? So, you know, told I was having a baby boy and then I was having a baby girl. All these things happened, right? But because this awakening was so huge, right? I went to the mental health ward. I had no idea about spiritual stuff. I mean, I'd always liked star signs and palmistry and that sort of stuff, been into that sort of stuff. But anyway, so it was big. I just started doing the tarot and, you know, really reading Deepak Chopra, right? So all these things were, I was being interested. My heart was guiding me to certain ways, right? Throughout my whole life. But around this time of my awakening, I started reading Deepak Chopra. I discovered Deepak Chopra. um, and started doing tarot. Had my awakening huge, right? Into the mental health ward, drugged up to the eyeballs, stopped it. Went home, missed that experience, and thought, oh, I'll get off the drugs. Got off the drugs. Again, back in the mental health ward because I was having these powerful, spiritual, mystical teachings, really the meaning of life, like I was in the core of creation, and I was discovering so many spiritual truths that it was too much for me to process, and it was making me manic. And this is what happens, okay? This is what can happen if we aren't grounded, and if we do not have the guidance and the mentoring and the support of people that know what the hell is going on. So that's what I offer you guys, okay? So you can join us in our free circle community if you resonate with this. If you know of anyone that needs this support, get them to join our community, okay? We're here to support one another. And back then, when that happened, I had no support. Everyone just looked at me like I was freaking nuts, even though everything that was told, that I saw, that I heard, that I wrote down from spirit, it all happened. And it still continues to happen. And it's just amazing. So the power that you hold within, the wisdom, when you have this divine activation, it can be huge. But what we need to do now is unify so we can balance this energy out. When this happened to me, I wasn't balanced because I was way up in the clouds. I was not grounded. My chakras were not aligned and able to, my DNA, everything, I was not able to contain what I was receiving. It was just made, I'm just, manic is coming up, like this manic, right? So what happened was I shut the door on all of that. I was on meds for quite a while, discovered I was pregnant. I was still advised to stay on the medication. And I mean, just like Spirit said, you're having a baby boy. Bang, bang, right? And didn't find out till I was 3 months because I thought the meds will make me fat, right? Anyway, so, and it was just so crazy, right? Like, and when I found out, I'm like, oh my God, that's what I was told. So you got to back yourself, right? And I knew that was something big. I was seeing colors so bright and beautiful. You know, I was here, like everything was sparkling, like it was just beautiful. This spiritual symbol, this JC came through, and he was telling me all of this. And I was seeing the divine in everyone, and it was really beautiful. So for that time, I was plugged in. Anyway, I shut the door. I shut the door after that. Had my baby boy, had my baby girl, got to enjoy being a mother, just being plugged into the matrix and living life, being happy, experiencing motherhood. And it was in probably 2013, 14, and I started to want to open the door again. I had a couple of times since then, and then spirit came through loud and clear, and it scared me, and it made me shut the door again. It was like boom, and it was like no. Like there was a couple of experiences where it was spirit being loud and clear, and in a huge sort of way that scared me, that made me recoil and not explore that. My angels were writing to me at certain points of that too, supporting me, giving me guidance. But again, it just started to be a bit too real, so I shut the door. So it wasn't until 2013, 14 where I joined a spiritual circle in the physical realm. So I actually got in my car and went there. because I had questions like, why? Why did all these things happen to me? How did I know everything that was going to happen? Like, I wanted to understand my awakening, and I found someone or a group I thought could help me do that. So I could improve my psychic abilities and stuff like that, and do it in a supported, do it with the support of others and people that have more experience in that field than I do. So at this time, Raphael was there with me, and we were reading auras, and they saw this angel behind me with its wings spread. I knew it was Raphael. And I discovered I discovered Reiki, right? So I wanted to learn how to heal. That was what my heart was guided to do. That was what I was interested in. So this is it. Like, there's certain things within you, and you will have your interest piqued, this curiosity, just like this childlike curiosity. The inner child is coming out, and you are curious. Now, that is very important that you trust that, right? It's this innocence of the heart, okay? This curiosity. So I was curious, number one, about joining this spiritual circle. I wanted to I wanted to be supported while I was exploring my spirituality and learning how to become psychic, right? Doing things like reading auras and divination. That's where I learned the sway test. You can learn about that in the free course. And anyway, I was led to Reiki. My heart led me to Reiki. Started doing that. And healing is the key. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you're led to. It's very important that you trust that and trust you, right? My way is my way. Your way is your way. You don't have to do what I do and join a spiritual circle like in your local area. You don't have to go and become Reiki certified. You don't have to become a Reiki master teacher. You don't have to go into emotion code and be certified in emotion code and body code. And you don't have to do that, because you have your own way. Our path, our way to the one is unique to us, and we must follow our heart. We don't copy others' path, because that will just lead us to dead ends, right? So, okay, let's have a look at the comments. This remembrance, P Money, is it's like an unfolding. And many people there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of stories out there of other people coming to remembrance. And it's not a light bulb going off, right? It's not a light bulb going off in a way that all right, so Jesus is coming up. The symbol, the story of Jesus, where he was an explorer, he was a seeker. He went and walked many paths to find to return home to the one. The true Jesus, not the fake religion Jesus. The true, they keep saying Messiah, Messiah, Messiah. And I've never used that word before, but the true Messiah. That's really weird. So he was a nomad. He was a seeker. He went on a journey to find enlightenment through very different ways. He studied many traditions. He did not follow one way. And that is his message, old JC, Yeshua. again, bringing you back to your center, your truth, your way. You must follow your path, follow your heart. No one is going to heaven when they die, because heaven is a state of consciousness, and it's what we must embody here on this earth. Yeah. Okay. So what's happening is I'm just being shown my awakening in 2006, where I just was connected with that cosmic core of creation, where I was in no time, no space, I was just in this, I don't know, it was like this blue flame, this blue orb. It was the most beautiful thing ever, right? And every time I closed my eyes, I would see this blue ball, this blue orb with this white center. I can't explain it, like a blue flame, right? Thing. And it was this just I don't know how to explain it. It was just the cosmic core, the source of all creation, right? This energy, this power source, right? Source energy. Hey Shane. So um, there's so many outdated concepts. There's a lot of programming, a lot of beliefs, and this religion really pushes this heaven. Uh, Religion really pushes the fact that Jesus is coming back, and the chosen ones are being zapped up to freaking heaven. Like, it's a bunch of BS, and it's so interesting how gullible people are. Um, and it's this child, right? So what I'm showing is this child who, so when I was younger, I'd believe anything, right? My dad would tell me on road trips, look out the window. You can see Ewoks here. This is where the Ewoks are. And I'd be looking out the window into the bush for Ewoks the whole journey. Like, and that's seriously what he must have just done to shut me up, right? In the car on these long road trips, going down the coast, right? Just looking at, oh, is it Ewoks, right? My son, he would believe absolutely anything. You could tell him anything and he'd believe it, like the stupidest things, like when he was a young kid. And I remember my dad used to play on that. And, so it was just like, it was a harmless joke, that dad was doing it. But it's like, we actually believed that, right? So this is kind of like this whole religion and the information that's fed to people. And just be a good person or be good, stick to these rules and you'll get into heaven, right? If you follow this religion and you're a chosen one, you are one of the 144 and you're going straight to heaven. It's rubbish, guys. And the true people, the people that are these seekers of knowledge, wisdom, you guys who are these introverts that go within and use your mind, this divine technology, your mind, to seek the wisdom within. It's like, it's I feel for all those beautiful souls trapped. I do, and we do. We have this love for people, even though most people have laughed at us, ridiculed us, dropped us, stabbed us in the back, used us, taken us for granted, just kept taking, and we still have this deep love for humanity. It's funny. It's like there's people who are treated badly and they just hate everyone and everything. They turn bitter, twisted, horrible, nasty, just negative, right? But you still have this, I don't know. It's this is just what the source is saying. It's like this reverence for life. um, you respect life, and you have, like, it's like you've walked this path and you've gone through these certain lessons where you know that, I don't know, I'm trying to put my finger on it, I just can't. It just keeps moving. But I'm just seeing reverence for life. You know, not everyone's bad, right? You know that. Well, this is questions. These are things. Okay, so these are questions that people are seeking, and like trying to understand why people are. Why? Okay, so this is why it kept moving around, because it's like we have always questioned, why do people have to be like this? Why do people have to treat others so badly? And we've really swayed towards this uh, learning about the psyche and psychology and human nature, human behavior, what makes people tick, right? Personally, I have always been interested in, true crime and that sort of stuff. Like I want to understand the darkness. And on this journey, we use the darkness to learn, grow, and evolve. So being stuck in these systems that say, just follow these rules and you're going to go to heaven, it's it, it's damning. It is damning. You will forever be damned. And you're going to die. You're going to be sucked back into this soul trap, and you are going to be experiencing a reality, a similar type reality, or an even darker, denser reality. So because if you do not learn from the darkness, you do not grow and evolve, you do not move past it. So we need to heal ourselves, and we need to really understand the darkness in order to flourish. Because again, they're showing me the seed in the dirt and the darkness, the groundedness, right, of this seed in the ground. And they're showing me the roots beginning to grow. And as these roots grow down into the depths, the deepest, darkest depths, right? But it's like the equal, the growth on top, right? So it's like the roots are going down so deep into the darkest depths, right? And as it goes into the darkest depths, it grows further into this tree, right? This tree of life, this kind of thing, right? Oh, well, oh, P Money, if you haven't left already, you can always watch the replay. Always watch the replay. That's the beauty of what we do here. It's not based in linear time. It's timeless. So these messages find who they're meant for, when they're meant for, and it's just beautiful. Well, that's it. Yeah, the King James Bible and all that sort of stuff. You're like, you see how he grew up, right? So anyway, so there is a lot of deception, and people just believe it. There is um, so, and people just believe this because they're in the darkness. I'm just seeing this seed that hasn't sprung, right? Or sprouted, sprout. Um, I'm getting sprung because it's like a spiral, because that's this growth that we're beginning. It's like the crystal spiral, but then also the 9 and the 6, right? The 9 and the 6. So sprung. It's like this spiral. So tomorrow we have our group collab. I've changed it to group collaboration because it's where we where the deepest spiritual knowledge will be attained right now. So we have our inner circle, and then we have our group collab. Those in the group collab get access to all the inner circle spiritual tools and perks. If you wish to join us in this intimate, energetic container, you can come and join us. Okay. Live stream is tomorrow at 9:30 Sydney, Australia time. Let me get all the links up. So you guys, I'll put it in the description. So if you do, or wherever you want to come and join us, you just come and join us, okay? Because we've got our free community, we've got our free online course, we have the inner circle membership, we have the group collaboration. Oh, I'll share it in a minute. It's just, where is it? Inner circle, group, circle. Oh, there we go. All right. Check out those links. Come and join us on Circle. It's our free community. And before I spoke about the sway test, so right at the beginning of my journey when I decided to open the doors again, I learned how to do the sway test. So this is the very first thing that you need to do, that everyone needs to do to be able to connect with their body, okay? So this sway test becomes way more powerful in our membership, so you can access deeper truth, deeper clarity. And the reason for this is because you are accessing this healing portal where you are receiving this attunement. You're in this energetic container. So the beings that move into the inner circle, they're healing. You choose how far you venture. The inner circle and the group collab requires a lot of healing on my behalf to maintain this energetic container. And every single member in that group, they're doing the inner work. So they're accessing the online course or the information that they need in order to get their light scale, get a light scale number reading on any issue, behavior, their body, organs, glands, you name it. They're able to learn how to create their healing record, where you learn how to use the input that you're receiving from your inner and outer worlds to be able to heal on that, on autopilot. And when you do this, you raise your frequency and you're able to access higher consciousness. In the group mentoring, you guys are able to release even more. And there's some really exciting things happening over the next few months where there's going to be a lot of resources shared. So join us, be a part of the action, and see this divine unfolding. Oops, what are we doing there? Hello, Ameka. Lovely to see you here. So let's go back to the subject. What occurs after you die? Like, what happens? Right now, humanity are in a black hole system. They are in a soul trap that has been created by this dark entity that controls. Now, what has happened and what the return of Christ actually is one being who incarnated, and they used their divine navigational systems to find their way back home to the one. And this journey has been every single step of this journey, I've had to do it by going within and using the input in my inner and outer world. I have healed on it. And in recording this, healing on this, I've been able to raise my frequency to access a higher level of consciousness. I have unlocked interdimensional doorways, these gateways, and I have moved through from the 3D to the 48D into the infinite, the creator core. So it's been a very interesting journey. And there's been a lot of stuff that I've had to move through. So part of the inner circle and the group collab, and in future, the creator core, I get to hold you guys in this space, attune you guys, and it's like this encryption. You have this, your divine technology is encrypted. It's like, and then they're showing me crypt, like a crypt, it's locked, right? So the Christ has the mind map, right? The blueprint. And I get to transfer this with those that choose. So this is the return of Christ, but this is the return of truth. So my throat is hurting. Oh yeah, Tay. Don't talk to me about Facebook groups. I've been guided in and out of many on this journey. And that's what will happen. This is why we have to stay true to ourselves, and we have to follow our heart. And as we are healing, we are going to start to move. The problem is when people aren't healing, or when they're using old world outdated healing modalities, the process is super slow because they're still fixed in the 3D, not able to move through into the 5D to be a complete resonance match, into this divine blueprint. This is the beginning, the first step of the journey, right? We have the 12 tree grid, which is this blueprint. And every single step of the 12 tree grid has a theme, and it has certain frequencies within it that keep beings trapped like a bug in a web, right? So this is this journey where the Christ returns, the source, the truth, creates this portal, this wormhole through time and space to connect beings. It's like to connect beings to their core. That's sort of the stuff that's bleh. So I'm a portal of information, of knowledge and wisdom, having walked this path of ascension to embody Christ, to embody my spiritual self, to see it, to know it, to be it, right? So I get to share this with others. Now, in our inner circle membership, the group collab, and the creator core, what's going to happen is these are levels of they're like power hubs, right? Where you choose the level of power you access. And those beings that connect, that make that energy exchange, it's like you get what you give. And in this realm, we use money as a way of trading our energy for money, because energy is money. So the problem with a lot of beings out there right now is you do not see your worth, your value, and you give too much of yourself to everyone, right? And in doing this, you are spewing, you are leaking, you are losing your divine energy, and it's being harvested, it's being siphoned, and it's going into this dead energy, this dead light system. So what we need to do is give you the tools, the spiritual tools that you need to contain your force. Now, in the inner circle, there's a certain set of things that you are able to release. So you are able to be more protected. In the group collab, right? Even more things you are able to release at once. More healing is happening. healing deeper, more clarity, right? More expansion. We get way powerful knowledge in that group collab. And then in time, when I figure out, like, because this is it, I have to learn how source wants this to be released. And this whole 6 years, 7 years, since 2019, anyway, I've lost count. Since then, I've shared this with certain beings. I've attuned certain beings. And the problem is, because I'm always growing and evolving, there's always new attunements needed. So what I've figured out, or what source has led me to, is like, Nadine, create memberships so beings get to pay to receive this energy, and monthly attunements, monthly activations. So this is so much more seamless. I'm getting seamless. I guess seamless is like a seam separation. That's the symbol, I guess, because they're showing me seamless. Like seamless, like removing the seams, like the barriers. Anyway, I don't know, I'm trying to. You could say that, because that's what this journey is. When you reach this source energy, the one, when you embody Christ, that's what happens. Moving through from the 3D to the 48D. And it was very interesting. The 4 just went into the 8 and it turned into this infinity sign. And we have a lot of teachings about that in our inner circle and in the group collab that's sort of just beginning. There was a lot of teachings in relation to that with my last year and the beginning of this year, when I was doing a one-on-one. Anyway, but we are in this whole new frequency now. I am seeing things in such a more powerful way. So you've got to understand, this is all about streamlining what we do. And as we heal, we release the frequencies that have been blocking us. And when we do this, we move into this more expanded version of ourselves, right? So on this journey, and using that 12 tree grid, right, moving into the 12D, healing on that. When I did that, I balanced my masculine and my feminine energies, right? And I moved through the portal the mother and father had created to have my cosmic Christ rebirth, right? So that was up to the 15D. So that was an attunement that I shared with beings. Beings have had that attunement and stuff like that. But things are changing, because this is about tapping in and being this source of power for others, sharing this frequency, this healing frequency, this Christ frequency with others, so they can opt in and be able to do this for themselves. But this is just like a seed growing into this tree, and we together are going to connect. We are going to unify the ones that are meant to, the ones that choose to, the ones that align to this and say, I want to know more. Like what she is saying, I resonate with this, and I want to learn how to operate to activate my divine vessel so I can travel, right? So I can grow multi-dimensionally. So I can speak from what I have done. I know that I am here as the Christ to share this frequency, and we get to discover and explore it together, those who choose. So you have so much wisdom within you, and it's just so beautiful. So going back to the 15D, right? That is this frequency of the 144. Right? So Christ is the infinite, the creator, the divine oracle for the one, the messenger. So I've done that. That's who I am. That's what I do. And So I'm here to share with others and attune others into this frequency where they are able to travel interdimensionally. But in order to do this, there's very specific things that one must be able to heal at once. And every single step, one gets more and more and more powerful, meaning one has the ability to release more and more and more at once. This is the healing program from the one that we have received, that we get to explore together. So let's just say the level one, the first step of that 12 tree grid, right? One must be able to release infinite amount of emotions, toxicities, because you are a divine infinite being and we are doing it for the one. And we are here to anchor this frequency of heaven on earth, right? So we need to be able to activate our infinite capabilities, right? So in the inner circle, in time, I'm going to be sharing the exact things that beings need to be able to release at one time. This is what I want to do anyway. So let's see when spirit lets me do it, when source lets me do it. But this is what I have in mind. There's a certain amount of things that those in the inner circle are releasing. Automatically receive this heart attunement. And this heart attunement enables them to release so many trapped emotions at once, emotional resonances, emotional traumas, will to energies, all these different toxicities, entities, cords, energetic weapons, sabotage. Did I say parasitic entities? So all those things at once, right? So when you're able to heal all those things at once, you are able to be in such a higher frequency. When you can just clear your energetic field, your physical body, right, of all those things at once, you are freeing yourself from the energetic blockages, the imbalances, the separations. Now, because you are this human being, right? You are a being, you are this soul, you are this infinite source of light, right? So what happens, and this is the problem with all other healing technologies, right, is when you, like, there's people that are releasing one trapped emotions at a time, right? So I studied and I became a practitioner in emotion code and body code. If you know emotion code and body code practitioners, share this with them, please. Share this with those groups. So I was healing one, releasing one thing, like one this, one that, one more, right? So in the beginning, when I learned to do this, I was staying up all night just releasing. The more I released, the more resilience I had. So I went from being able to release probably 15, 16 to like staying up all night and releasing pages and pages and pages, because I was working out that muscle, right? So I began to be able to release hundreds, thousands of these individual things at once, right? But imagine doing hundreds and thousands of individual emotions, emotional resonance, psychotraumatic, all these entities. Like the more it's very hard to explain. But this is why it's infinite. It's multidimensional. It's not one way. It's not one releasing one energy, one frequency. This is releasing many at once from all angles, right? So in the inner circle, your heart wall is gone. This heart center is unlocked, and we use the electromagnetic energy of the heart to release. Now, as we release, more is going to surface. That's the way that it is, always. So this is why our healing journey is never done. Okay, so I studied emotion code and body code. No matter what I released in myself, new energies, new imbalances took that one's place, right? So for whatever I released, more surfaced and took that place, because you've got to see, you are this source, this It's like this pulsating energy thing that's constantly, I don't know how to explain it, but for whatever's released, more takes its place. And you are a divine infinite being. You are the one. You are connected to everything, everyone, the collective, right? Ancestor, yeah, all your ancestors, like all this ancestry stuff. You release that, more takes its place. Because this is what we have to do to heal, to grow, to evolve, to ascend. So old world healing techniques like Reiki, which is very outdated, right? And you know, there's not a lot of knowledge. Like, what my thing is, I had to understand it and know every little thing, why it works. I had so many questions that were not explained when I did Reiki. It was very vague. Okay, but why do these things? Yes, they work. I know it's working. I feel it and I feel the energy, but why is it working, right? So I always want to know why. It's like, why? I just want to know deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's this seeker in me. And that's what's brought me here, right? And so what happened was, when I learned how to release all these actually, I was releasing by bulk, right? All these bulk emotions. And then I discovered how to release all these dark force energies all at once. And that's when everything shifted. And when holographic Jesus visited me again, and this was in like 2019, and I received this heart attunement. And I began unlocking this healing journey, like my divine path, like what I was here to do. I started unlocking it. And then I got to share this with others. And again, I was continuously growing. I was continuously evolving and moving. So I so this attunement, right? It's very interesting what I've discovered. So this attunement, if beings wanted to be at the same level and be able to release the same things as me, they had to get the latest attunement and the latest attunement, the latest attunement, right? And it's just not practical, okay? So what we have done is we've created a membership, whereas every month, as long as you are in that healing container, in the inner circle, you're receiving attunement, you're receiving energetic activations. You are allowed in my energy, and you are one with Christ, right? So you are in the healing container, and you are able to use the spiritual tools like the light scale, the record, and track your cycle of being. So these are three powerful, powerful tools that when you step into the inner circle, you're going to be able to use them right away. Then what happens when you leave the inner circle? You're cut off because you're not in that healing container anymore. Okay? But it's up to you, and you choose whether you invest in yourself, invest in the knowledge, if you are ready to walk this path of ascension. You choose the level in which you join us. If you do not wish to do that, you can sit on the sidelines and join us here in these live streams and see the knowledge, the latest that you guys get access to in the inner circle and the group collab. The knowledge is the core of creation knowledge, like the meaning of life, like the structure of reality, consciousness, how it works, the breakdown of your energy body, the light body, the Merkaba, all that sort of stuff. We talk about the blueprint. We talk about so much cool stuff. And if you wish to be a part of that, come and join us. The links are there. But the truth is, you have your own way. And right now is a pivotal moment for you. For us as a collective, for some reason, this ear has just started buzzing off its head. Let me have some water. I like that taste. Spring waters are important to That's it. This is the eternal spring, the meaning of life, the grail. I love that. But I don't, this is it. These are very faith, peace, grace. That's amazing. That's what we need. But on this journey with healing, we need, we need to face the shadows. Why did I put that on? I didn't mean to put that on. I accidentally clicked it. But let's see what it says, because it may be maybe in order to, anyway, let's read this. Okay, so I can't see the whole thing. Okay, so that was a part of the journey. This is Heaven on Earth 2.0, where certain knowledge, this is beautiful, because we all have these individual angles, right? And on this journey, part of the ascension journey was becoming one with the 12 tribes and unlocking the information in relation to them. Now, this is all numbers, all mathematical, okay? And what we do here is take it down to its true essence. Now, hang on, I want to read that. So what we do here with these healing tools from the Christ is we release these things. Those beings in time that receive this, that connect in with the Creator core, they're able to release these frequencies of sin. Now, these sins, these frequencies, I want to say the 7 deadly sins, and how they relate to the archons, the archonic overrulers of the soul trap, right? This is the level 7, right? I'm speaking of where the archons, the soul trap, the 7 levels, the 7th step of the blueprint. Yeah, so we're talking about 7, the importance of the 7. And the archonic overrulers, that's what Spirit's saying. The architects of the soul trap, right? These relate to the sins, the 7 deadly sins, and they're within everyone, okay? So what the Christ is here to do is show you the door. You choose to walk through the door. You choose how far you dip your foot in. In time, the Creator core will be open, where beings are able to release those frequencies of sin or the archons to move through this portal, this solar portal into the cosmic core, to align to the deepest part of themselves. But again, this is a journey where beings need to take action and do the inner work. Anyone could join the Creator core, but if you're not doing the inner work, it will be painful. Okay? So we need to first learn how to operate using our inner and our outer world to be able to heal, so we can navigate. In the inner circle, the very basic level of the membership, you're going to learn how to do that. You're going to learn how to get your light scale number. You're going to learn how to record the input of your inner and your outer world to raise your frequency and access a higher level of consciousness. And you are going to access the knowledge, all right, that's gone. That's all gone now. Let me have some of this. You're going to be able, the third thing you're going to be able to do is learn about your cycle of being, the seasons of being. So the 28-day cycle that you move through, every single month you move through these seasons. Now, this is otherwise known as this monad, right? Because you are a frequency, you are a wave. Okay, and now this is how you track your frequency wave, and you see the different phases that you are moving through. Again, if you have a look at it, it's like a cross, right? It's the cycle of being. Again, this cross is also a symbol of earth, right? It's also a symbol of the mother, the father, the son, and the daughter. So we are going to be exploring, hey GD, we are going to be exploring some crazy ass stuff. So come and join us in the inner circle. If you're not quite ready for that yet, come and join our free community over on Circle. Okay, all these videos get posted into there when I finally remember to do it. So that's why join YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, and become a member of Circle. Okay, there's a free community there, the God Source Co, where you access the sway test online course, where you learn how it's done and where I started, okay, and how you can start to connect with your body and use it. Because just like a pendulum, right, your body will answer you yes and no. So get your butt in there, do the sway test course. I can see there's people that join it that just don't finish it, but we want, push through it, guys, push through it. I do use plant medicine very heavily in that online course because that's what changed everything for me. Okay, that's what absolutely changed everything for me. And that was one thing that I was using when I discovered how to clear all those things at once. That was before my heart attunement, where I had that visitation with old JC, holographic Jesus, that symbol. And so I was healing, I was using emotion code, body code, Reiki. I was introduced to these essential oils, doTERRA. I got rid of all my pharmaceutical drugs that I was trapped in this pharmaceutical drug cycle where I was just taking pills every 4 hours. I was taking many pills for all these different side effects that the actual pills that I was taking for pain. It was just a mess, okay? And I was able to use the sway test. I was able to get the answers from my body and find out what I needed to do to get myself out of this funk, okay? And you can do it too. So the door is there. It's up to you to move through it. The Christ has returned. The Christ is the Savior, but the Savior can only share with others how it was done. It's up to you to be able to use this knowledge to become your own Savior. You are your own Savior. That's it. For so long, I've wanted to help people. I've wanted to show people the way, but they have to make the choice. In the Sway Test video, I think it was like one of them where I'm sure I spoke about this, or maybe it was in a previous live, where I just wanted to help people and give people these essential oils that got me off all my drugs, right? I've got me off all the pharmaceutical meds for my pain and for all the other side effects that I was getting anyway. So I wanted to share these freaking little bottles of goodness with others, and I was just giving to everyone. But they didn't have the will themselves to do it, to learn, to research, to they didn't have the will to do it. So I was just giving. I was leaking energy all over the place, trying to be there for people, to support people, to give them free oils and the right. And I was being drained, right, energetically, because I was really, when we try to help people and they're not ready, it's like speaking to deaf ears. It's really a waste of time. So I'm here to support those beings that are ready. And because we have a job to do, it's time for us to raise our frequency and access a higher level of consciousness so we can heal, grow, and evolve, so we can raise the frequency of the planet. But it starts with us healing ourselves. That's the only way we're going to raise the frequency of the planet, is by healing ourselves. And we have the healing tools from the Christ in order to do that. And we have the knowledge that springs forth from that. So those beings in the inner circle, those beings in the group collab, those beings in the creator core, because there's beings in the creator core, right? They are supporting us here in these free streams. They are supporting this knowledge coming through. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, sitting here, because this has been a group collaboration where since 2019, when I was sharing this attunement with others, and I get to do it in a much easier way now, but when I was sharing this attunement for others, as they healed and raised their frequency, we collectively accessed a higher consciousness and received more healing capabilities. And it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing, right? And we didn't know what we were doing in that moment. We were just doing what we were guided to do. And we were gifted, we were rewarded for doing this. If you wish to receive your divine inheritance, unlock your spiritual gifts, come and join us. Follow your heart, learn how to operate so you can use this divine vessel in order to navigate this reality, to unlock what is there waiting there for you. It's possible, guys. Come and join us. So thank you so much for all your input, guys. If you didn't catch the beginning of this, come over to our YouTube channel or over to the Free Circle community, both, and check it out. Comment, interact, because the more that you connect to this energy, the more that you connect to the Christ, so the more that light you will be able to receive. Extra bonus points for sharing this content, because we need to light up the world. We need to sow these seeds of illumination so other beautiful beings like you that have felt so lost and alone and misunderstood can connect with this, so we can create and build our bloody soul tribe. Okay, we have been alone and suffering for way too long. Now is the time to connect to this support network where we are energetically supporting one another, holding space for one another, and we are sharing our truth, our uniqueness. We are being loved and cherished for who we are. Now, everyone is on a very different path. Everyone's inner and outer world is going to show them all these different things. And that's beautiful, because this uniqueness, unifying while embracing our uniqueness, following our unique path, that's the only way. That's the only way to Christ. We are not carbon copies of one another. So following Nadine, every single step that she took, like joining, doing the exact things that she did. No. Following someone else and doing the exact things that they did, it won't work for you. Okay? So we are showing up. All you need to learn from me is how to operate so you can navigate home to the one, how to unlock your divine technology, how to heal, to grow and evolve. Okay, but you have your own path, and you have your own I'm just own light, this own, oh my goodness, this is it. I'm just saying own path, own way, right, to do this. I am the portal, I'm the messenger for this, connecting to us here. You're connecting to the Christ, and you're able to receive. Okay, this is I'm just saying again, the meaning of life, the Holy Grail. This is the eternal waters springing forth for you to nourish you, so you have the spiritual knowledge, the truth from the God source, the absolute truth from the God source, from the Christ, so you know how to operate, so you can do as I have done. No one comes through. What does Jesus say? Let me know in the comments, because this is it. This was a question the other day where Jesus, there's a thing that says no one goes to the Father but through me, right? And this is because he was a portal. Now we have evolved since then, and this is the next step. Okay, this is the Holy Mother and her return, the divine feminine, where she comes back. The divine feminine has been erased throughout history. And that's probably why Jesus is such a freaking idol, because it's like people think they have to follow. Well, there's a lot of religious stuff where it's like, and a lot of things said, but the actual deeper truth in relation to that has not been exposed. But now is the time. It's all being revealed. This is the time of divine revelations. So come and join us if you wish to see this divine unfolding. Share this. And no matter when you're finding this, this is a timeless message. You're seeing it for a reason. So join us, align with us, come and see what we're up to now. And let's just enjoy this ride.